Hello everyone. Phoenix61 here with your legend shenanigans for the day. How's it going, you two friends? Today we are in the Jager. This was a campaign ship from a while back. It's a fun little boat to play around in. It is strictly torpedoes for this thing, right? So the guns are absolute garbage, and the anti-air fire might as well not exist at all. That's how bad. Like, I don't even know why it has any. It's basically the two guys standing on the deck shooting handguns up in the air. It's so yeah, but it is a fun boat to tool around in and send lots and lots of torpedoes. You get 4 racks of 3 torpedoes that move pretty quick. They don't do a lot of damage, but because you can send so many, it makes games pretty fun. And you also get 2 torpedo reload boosters to boot, so an engine boost and a heal that help out quite a bit. Not a big health pool, right? Concealment is okay. I think I've built into concealment as much as I could just because of the fact that you don't get a smoke screen with this ship either, right? So I'm looking at my detection range on the minimap, and I'm kind of assuming that since the zone is contested, I'm guessing that the enemy destroyer that is contesting the zone is off to our starboard side here, off to our right. So I sent some guess racks over through that area and used our reload booster to get those extra torpedoes, and then I'm saving one more rack here just in case, right? But they do come back pretty quick, yeah. So, and our assumption was right, so we see a Benson over there, and he may eat one of our torpedoes, but yeah, like I said, right, we did 7,300 damage to him, right, so we need at least one more torpedo hit on him. He is going to drop his smoke, though, and going to be stubborn, so I'm guessing he is going to try and maintain control of the cap here, but we're going to have torpedoes ready for him, and so since he's just kind of trying to contest the zone, right, I'm guessing he's just not going to move, so we're going to send torpedoes right through where he was in the smoke. I'll space him out a little bit here just in case he backed up a little bit, but we should be able to take him out just because he wants to challenge us, right? So if I was him, I would have moved away from this situation to live to fight another day, right? Instead of, you can still be valuable with low health as a destroyer, right? You can go around and spot ships and cap other zones, right, where you're not going to run into some trouble. But as we predicted, he stayed in one place, sat in his smoke, and then lost his ship because of it. So we now have full reign to just keep our enemies spotted for our allies at this point, right? We're just chilling in the middle of the map here with uncontested zone while our torpedoes reload. So we'll take full advantage of this. We'll get the zone cap, and then we'll kind of move into our next, see what we want to do here after this one, right? I'll go through commander build and stuff at the end of the video, so stick around for that if you're interested in that. Bogami looks like he's not moving much. All right, he's going to push up forward now. He's got torpedoes too, so there's a good chance, if he knows what he's doing, he's sending them through the zone here, since he can see that we're capping it, right? So we'll be on the move for that and just keep an eye out just in case. And sure enough, there they are. Sending a couple racks towards him, and we're going to send a few more torpedoes towards this Connecticut. Connecticut looked like he was turning in, so I fired those torpedoes a little bit short. And then we'll just hang out here, circle around, shoot some more, right? But yeah, the strategy I take most of the time with this ship is just simply try not to get detected, and cap zones, spot ships, and sail around and shoot torpedoes, right? Gonna get one on the Connecticut with the flood. That's great. We'll send some more. And yeah, if you can space them out, right? Like, I know it's hard to do. I fail at it all the time too. But if you can space them out and get multiple hits, like within like good timing, right? You can trigger those permanent floods, right? So I slammed on the brakes here. There is a fellow Jager that decides to shoot at us. I'll take the shot back at him. We'll send some torpedoes. We know he's probably doing the same thing to us, so I'm actually going to move away from him. There's just too much enemy fire over here, right? If these guys know what they're doing, they're all going to shoot me, right? So the Megami shot at us. That maybe was the Connecticut shooting at us or not, I'm not sure. But we'll run away, stop firing our guns so that we can go undetected here. And then we did get lit on fire, so our detectability range is going to be a little bit bigger, but we're still far enough away, so we're good there. You can see it's 7.2 up in the top left there while we're on fire. It'll drop down to, I think we have it at 5.1 or 5.2 for our standard concealment for this build, so it'll drop back down to that once the fire's gone. And there it goes, down to 5.2. And somebody's got the Connecticut flooding, or on fire, right? So he had to damage con the flood that we gave him before, so those fires are burning. Yep, so Nelson gets the kill there.
Unser Team hat die Führung übernommen.
We'll push up. We do need to just kind of keep in mind that enemy Jager is out here as well. But this way we can potentially cut off there's a battleship that's kind of trying to kite away from our allies that were over on the A flank. So we could potentially cut him off as he comes this way, this Bismarck, yep. So that could be some easy torpedo hits. Here's the Jager. We're going to, he's got some health built in, right? I didn't build into any health, right? He's got 4 health chunk bars, right? Versus my 3. So we're going to send torpedoes, use the reload booster, and if we miss these racks, right, I'm going to send even more. I had maneuvered to just try and avoid his torpedoes. We get 1 hit, 2 hit, still has health. There we go. So yeah, I mean, like if we're just straight up all torpedoes, right, like we got to use that. That's a perfect opportunity to use that reload booster and just overwhelm him with torpedoes, right? So we'll hold off firing the guns to go undetected again here because, well, we've got almost no health left. And I'm just keeping an eye on the path of this Bismarck and Mogami. Again, we got to keep in mind Mogami's got torpedoes of his own. Bismarck looked like he might slow down or turn in. Mogami also looks like he's going to start turning this way. They managed to finish off the couple of ships that were chasing them down, so we are actually outnumbered here now at this point. We're down a ship. So I'm going to mix and match torpedoes, send a couple for each of those guys. And then 1 remaining destroyer here. We're just going to drive away from him. I don't have the guns or the health to try and fight him. I think it's was it a Jervis or a British destroyer, right? So I'm just going to move out of the way, right? Like I'm literally surrounded by enemy ships. If I fire my guns, I'm going to be spotted way too long, right? So we'll hold off on firing the guns and maintain our concealment. Just move away from him and continue to use the tools at our disposal, right, which is concealment and torpedoes. So we'll just keep kind of driving around taking advantage of that. No luck on the Bismarck yet. These are looking a little bit better. He's getting chased from the other side as well. So he's got 2 destroyers he's got to try and avoid torpedoes from here. So there we go with 3, 4 hits from us and maybe 1 or 2 from the other guy. Still couldn't kill him off. Right, so that's the downside. The torpedoes don't do a lot of damage, but you do get a lot of them, right? So floods are always nice to be able to trigger floods. Full health Zeiton out there on the C-cap side over here. So we'll start moving in towards that to support that. There's 3 battleships left on the enemy team, one of them being this Bismarck. So if we can get rid of him, we can go in and cap C. And then it looks like their destroyer went right for the B hole, right for zone B. So we're going to have him to deal with at some point, I'm sure. We've got 2 battleships on my team sailing kind of towards B, so that might be bad for us. All right, we've got Flood on the Bismarck, so he might be done for finally. So we'll move into Cap C, just in case we run into a points situation for this game. Yep, and we get him with the Flood. We still had more torpedoes on the way, but it's fine. They're not wasted because, well, they reload quick. Yeah, very healthy Rodney and Zeiton up here, plus their destroyers left. So we've turned the tables a little bit here. We now are up a ship instead of down a ship. But I'm going to be a little good boy destroyer and cap this zone, so that if we do need the points getting closer to the end of the game, we should have them. trying to take the shortest path to them, right? If these guys are going to kite away from, right, if they're going to move away from us, we may not get an opportunity for torpedoes here. And then the Zone B, right, is contested. I can see just off to the right side of my screen. So we know the enemy destroyer is still in B cap, while we have both our allied destroyer and a battleship in there, probably messing with him. Rodney is getting low. And then they've spotted the enemy destroyer, right? He's pretty low on health and he's sitting in smoke. But they managed to kill off both of those allied ships of ours, right? So we can see the smoke is still kind of deploying there. And we can see guns firing from that smoke screen. So I'm going to cap this zone and just wager a bet that, like, okay, if I was that guy, right, he's just at our torpedo range. So if he stays there, we might be able to get the hit. But also, if I was him, I might come and challenge and try and cap C over here, right? Try and take C back, or push up towards me to try and kill me off to get the win, right? So I'm going to send torpedoes with the anticipation that he may head in that direction, and we'll just see what we get. I think he was low enough at this point. If we get one hit, we should be able to get the kill on him, and that would guarantee us the win. It's a little bit nervous, right? Because we're not a gunboat. He could outgun us even with less health, right? even though he's low on health, I'm also low on health, right? So our guns are just terrible. So yes, we do get, it is a lightning, right? So we get the kill there. So that's going to guarantee the win for us. So we'll actually fast forward through the rest of this game. Doesn't matter if our battleship goes down, right? We can just avoid detection, stay alive, run away from the enemy battleship, don't get spotted, and win on points if we need to. I'll head in towards B to cap it, right, if we've got enough time to pick up the zone, just for the, I'm always all about the XP earnings, right, and that'll help you earn credits at the end of the match as well. So we'll hang out here and watch the rest of the fight and fast forward, and then I'll go through we'll take a peek at the scoreboard like I normally do, and then we'll go through the commander build and how I have the ship set up as well. For this game also, right? So zone capped, we'll start pushing out on him, but right, 15 seconds left here and fast forward, so easy peasy win at that point. $94,000 damage with 3 kills isn't half bad for a Jager game. And then, yeah, we did break the 3,500 XP, right? 3,600 puts us at the top of the board. The 3,500 is always nice. You get the heroic effort missions for the week, right? So we get that progress there. That's always the challenging one to get. So if you break that 3,500, that's giving you extra progress towards campaign. And then, like I said, this is all about the torpedoes, at least the way I've built it out, because, well, guns and anti-air are absolute garbage. So I wouldn't pick anything else other than things that boost torpedoes, right? So I did go prop mod here. You could go steering gear, right, if you're interested in that. And then concealment for sure, especially since you don't have smoke screen with this ship. And then I went torpedo launcher reload, right? I don't run into the torpedo tubes getting incapacitated too often with this ship, but you do keep in mind you get 4 racks, right? So then yeah, I'm using Stig here with basically a torpedo build here, and then concealment built into the inspirations as well, right? So that's a little bit helpful there. So yeah, these guys are both the inspirations are free to play, guys, and Stig is free to play too. So anybody can do this build with this ship, right? But yeah, I'm doing subsurface venture here for the better reload. We don't care about the nerf to main battery because, well, they're kind of useless anyway. So I'll take that torpedo speed and damage any day of the week. You could go fragile threat here for a little bit better concealment, but then you're giving up some HP. So I went with look at me now. And then I picked this less is more perk for more torpedo damage and reload time. I don't mind the 15%, right? It goes up to 20% range. I don't mind the nerf to the range there, at least not right now. Maybe when it's up to 20, that might be a little worse. But right, I think these are 12-kilometer base torpedoes for the range, and so yeah, I'll take the pro. Like, the pros seem to outweigh the cons in my mind there, right? If the torpedo range, like the base, was kind of standard was shorter, then I might, then it might be starting to get to the point. But sometimes with more torpedo range, I'm like, well, then it's just that much more time that enemies have to like maneuver, or right. So if you're torping at max range, I feel like your chances of getting those hits are smaller. You could pick this sheltered arms too, right? Risk of torpedo launchers being incapacitated. If you max that out, you get that up to 100%, right? So, but like I said, I don't really run into that issue very much with this ship. It's pretty rare. Usually you're just dead by the time stuff like that's happening, right? So yeah. And then unstoppable for the legendary perk. You could go give me speed to get those extra engine boost charges, right? Then you really have to focus on not being spotted and taking any sort of engine or steering gear damage, right? But you could go that direction with this particular ship as well. I just kind of wanted to touch base too for main ships, right? If you're interested in this sort of play, I really enjoyed grinding through this top row of Japanese destroyers, right? In particular, the Fubuki, right? So Fubuki's tier 5, and that one you get very, very similar, right? You get 3 racks of 3 torpedoes, and that's tier 5, and you can build into concealment pretty good with this ship as well, right? So if you're interested in that sort of play style, torpedo boating, right, and destroyers, right? This top row of Japanese destroyers would be my recommendation, right? That's kind of one that I had the most fun with, right? But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That's going to be our video for the day. Really do appreciate those of you following the channel. So if you're not, please do subscribe. I am kind of a small channel still, so 1 or 2 new people following me, I do see you and I notice that I check every day and I'm like, yay, right? So I really do appreciate that. That helps me out quite a bit. Special thanks to members. I know we've got a few new members for the channel. That's a good way to help support me in my endeavor of World of Warships Legends videos. And then keep an eye out for me on the live stream. I don't have a set schedule. I usually hop on randomly throughout the week in the evenings. I am Central Time in the US, so if you're really interested in that, we just kind of do relaxed gameplay, just kind of have fun with it, right? Nothing serious, and I'll take suggestions on what ships to play and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.